and welcome to A Taste of Torah. I'm Rabbi Gavi Ruit, and our Torah portion this week is Parashat Yitro. Parashat Yitro begins with a visit from Jethro, also known as Jethro, Moses' father-in-law. Torah tells us that Jethro, priest of Midian, Moses' father-in-law, heard all that God had done for Moses and for the Israel people, for Israel, his people, how the Lord had brought Israel out of Egypt. So after hearing about the Exodus, Jethro packs up his daughter Zipporah and her two sons, Moses' family, and sets out for the wilderness to reunite with Moses. Jethro's reaction to hearing all that God had done for the people Israel is interesting because Jethro himself is not an Israelite. He's Midian. Not only that, but he is a Midianite priest, someone who serves a God other than Adonai. But Jethro finds God's care for the Israelites so compelling that he rushes to meet up with them after the Exodus. Why would he do that? The Kotzker Rebbe, an early 19th century Hasidic leader, gives us some insight into what makes Jethro unique. The Kotzker's teaching is a commentary on a midrash found in Tanchuma. He begins, in Midrash Tanchuma, it says, Jethro heard. There are those who hear and suffer, and those who hear and are rewarded. Thus the nation shall hear and be afraid. But Jethro heard and was rewarded, for he had been an idolatrous priest, but he came and attached himself to Moses and entered under the wings of the Shekhinah. So after laying out this midrash, the Kotzker Rebbe explains what the midrash means. He says, you have to understand why the midrash teaches us this. For in one hearing, some hear and are rewarded, and others hear and suffer. Jethro heard of the miracles of the splitting of the Reed Sea and experienced the fear of God. So he came and drew near. The nations also experienced fear, but they fled from God because they wanted to get rid of the fear. Here, the Kotzker provides a profound insight into the nature of fear and our response to it. Jethro acknowledged his fear of God and drew closer to divinity as a result, and he was rewarded. But those who fled from their fear suffered and were afraid. It's important to note that the same word translated here as fear can also be translated as to be in awe of. This distinction between fear and awe is key, I believe, to understanding the Kotzker's message. Both Jethro and the nations learned of Adonai's power and miracles and were disquieted by what they learned. Jethro responded to that disquiet with awe and drew closer. The nations, by contrast, responded to their disquiet with terror and fled. One was rewarded and the other suffered. We all are presented with situations that make us uncomfortable and disquieted. And how we respond to these moments has everything to do with how we approach them. Do we approach that discomfort from a place of curiosity and awe, or from a place of fear and avoidance? When I see someone I don't know approaching, do I look them in the eye and smile, or do I avert my eyes and rush past? Do I apply for that perfect job, or do I convince myself it's hopeless and don't even try? Do I accept that aliyah honor during Torah service, or do I decline it out of fear of messing up? There are There are a lot of uncomfortable situations in life, moments that may give us jitters and make us uneasy. But we get to choose how we respond. Do we draw closer through awe, or do we retract and retreat from fear? The choice is ours. Shabbat Shalom.